Welcome back to First Take. More breaking news this morning. The Raiders have fired head coach Pete Carroll after one season in Las Vegas. The Raiders will have the #1 pick in the upcoming NFL draft. Important to note, Raiders GM John Spytek and Tom Brady will now be in charge of identifying and hiring the team's next head coach. Is this the right decision?
It absolutely was the right decision. I don't give a damn about it. No disrespect to the GM, but I don't give a damn. I want Tom Brady to make that call. Because we all know it's going to be a quarterback got the #1 overall pick. There's one man that should make this call, and that's the 7-time champion, and it's Tom Brady. Pete Carroll, God bless him. Father Time is undefeated. We say it about players all the time. Sometimes we have to say it about coaches. He looked old. He just looked a bit outdated. It's like there comes a point in time when you're looking at certain people. He's a 2-time national champion. He's a Super Bowl champion as a coach. With the 2 Super Bowls as a head coach. You just got to look at people and sometimes go like this. Yeah, man, the run was good. Yeah. It's over. And that's what I saw when I was watching the Raiders this year. I just said, time's up. Not that he can't coach or anything like that, but today's players, the mentality, the focus, et cetera, I just said, a new voice, a new coach.
It's the right decision. The Raiders had consistently the worst tape out of anybody in the NFL. It's the worst roster in football. Yep. And so we can sit here and think that a new coach and having the #1 pick is going to fix it all. It's not. There's one player to really build around. Max. It's Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers. Okay.
And then maybe Genty, and that's still a little bit of like, let's see what you actually are. Max is there, no question. I think they should trade Max. Mm-hmm. I love Max. He should go to a contender and finish his career. Yes, I agree. They need such an influx in talent. It's remarkable to look at this football team and say, all right, this is going to be a much longer process. This will be their 6th head coach since 2021. So whoever you hire, you better make sure that you're committed to them long term, like literally 3 or 4 plus years. And don't lock in Fernando Mendoza, the quarterback from Indiana, as the #1 pick. Don't. Really nice player. The Dante Moore young man from Oregon, if he comes out, will absolutely warrant to be selected #1 if they choose quarterback. But this roster needs so much talent.
Well, the big piece was this. They were refusing a rebuild when they hired Pete Carroll.
Remember, 10 wins.
Yeah, Pete Carroll isn't the type of coach. He isn't at the age where you expect that he's going to be rebuilding. That's why you go out and you get Geno Smith and you try to add some of these pieces in free agency. You draft Ashton Genty as a running back at 6 because you expected to compete this year. Clearly, that's not it. So now you have to say and concede, we are rebuilding. You got to find you a coach that can rebuild. You have to have people in the executive offices that understand rebuilding. And you have to have people on your team, not like Max Crosby, who will be comfortable with rebuilding. He's the face of that franchise. He doesn't play rebuild ball.
He's been rebuilt too much.
He could be destroyed
over and over again. But you can utilize him to get more pieces to add to your roster. Pete Carroll should be gone, but choosing your next coach and what you do with the draft capital you have this year are the most important priorities of this offseason.
I don't agree with letting him go. And my reasoning is, yes, is he old? Of course, but did he have enough time to properly develop his system or implement his system? No, he didn't. So as we're talking about the people who make these decisions, well, I'm getting a lot of looks right now that I don't not like.
They're terrible.
I understand they're terrible, but you make do to what you have. So when I'm saying Tom Brady's making the decisions, right? He's well and qualified to make the decisions. Nobody's denying that. Pete Carroll isn't. It's going to take time.
Yeah, but you know this too, though. It also takes energy, and I'm not, and I am certainly not talking about the energy to move around, the energy to come to work. It takes a different level of energy to understand and to feel that level of sorriness because this team is no good. Pete Carroll hasn't done this, has not had to do this for decades of his life. You need to get someone who is in the mind state of rebuilding because they allow you to draft in the way that you're rebuilding. They allow you to execute roster moves in the way that you're rebuilding. If you're not in that headspace from a mental standpoint, you won't be the right coach to move forward with.
Let me tell you the vantage point I would come from with it if I was writing a column. Tom Brady getting paid $37.5 million a year doing Fox. You see them damn commercials he's doing? Everything is about attention to detail. You know, the motivational stuff that he's doing. The woman in the commercial, great
Avocado
commercial.
ice cream.
In a great commercial and stuff like that, where he's motivated that she's hardcore, she's on top of it, terrorizing grandmas for crying out loud. And then Tom Brady pulls up in the order, way to go. You understand? Say, pay attention to detail, that kind of stuff, right? They brought you on as a minority owner. You got the #1 overall pick. We know it needs to be a quarterback. I don't get. Let the GM make every other pick. But that pick has to be Tom Brady's, period. I got a 7-time Super Bowl champion quarterback as a owner of my franchise who just retired a couple of years ago. He's related to the player. Didn't he work out Shedeur Sanders? Wasn't he motivating them? I mean, this dude ain't in his 70s. Tom Brady's now. You're an owner.
But
you're a quarterback.
I'm going to say this.
You are the one that has to make that pick.
The all-time greats sometimes have a problem.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
don't say Jordan. Don't say Jordan.
Listen, I agree with you. But the point is, Tom Brady has earned, and you brought him on as an owner. So just for this pick, I didn't say any other pick. This one right here, the #1 pick, who's going to be a quarterback.
You get yourself in trouble like that.
I don't want to hear anybody. I don't want to hear a damn soul, including Mark Davis, picking the next quarterback for the Raiders. That's got to be Tom Brady. There's not a damn soul that should matter other than Tom Brady for the quarterback. Anything else, fine. But the quarterback, I want to hear one voice. Everybody move out the way. Who you got? Because it's riding on him. This is why I brought you here. This is why I gave you part ownership. Right here, right now. You earning your money. Show me.
They got pick a
I let Mark Davis pick my barber before I let him pick my quarterback.
Barber.
No, hell no. Why would you do that? You see he's here?
The end zone against Samuel Warmack yesterday, and Mitchell Trubisky is going to throw it up. And hey, Rexy, you know what the words are? You got mossed. That's Gabe Davis coming down with the mossing there. And what did not happen?
That defense?
What you might notice, Dan, is that on this play, the New York Jets did not intercept a pass. That's not something that should come as a surprise, because yesterday the New York Jets became the first team in NFL history. There were 515 passes thrown against them this year. None of them were intercepted. Dan, what do we say? And I'll point out the empty seat here. Schefter took a call. You never know what that might mean. We'll find out in a minute.
Yeah, I think this is one of the most unbelievable stats in the history of the NFL. How is a ball?
You're being nice.
How is a ball not intercepted off a tip, off a bad route, off of going off someone's hands? The quarterback makes a bad throw. He's pressured into a floater. He gets hit and the ball pops out. I don't understand how this is possible.
What you're seeing now are what the opposing quarterbacks did against the New York Jets defense this season, a team that hired a defensive coordinator to be their new head coach. Rex, quick thought.
Yeah, like this one kind of blows me away. I mean, it really does. Like, there's no way in hell you see this coming. I mean, a whole season without an interception. I mean, gosh, if I went 2 weeks, you'd think, what the hell is going on? But
the Jets concluded a season. Look, they haven't been worth the time on a national show like this for me to rant and rave about it, so I haven't been doing it. I'm not going to do it. The Jets are a team that does not deserve conversation. For the last month, they did not remotely resemble an NFL team. They did not compete in a single game over the last 5 weeks of the season.
They weren't competitive over the last 5 games. I mean, they were. To be quiet, the Jets are embarrassing. They're embarrassing, and we shouldn't waste another minute.
But you know what? When you look at it, though, they're going to have a lot of money. They got draft picks they're going to be excited about, but they got to do something